came on really quickly, the button to say we're live. Today is Tuesday, the 16th of October, 2018. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, chat room. Anyway, we did have Astral, but we seem to have just lost him. On the panel is Flat Earth Dude, Patricia, and guest Paul on the plane. So hello.
That's the round of applause.
Yay!
You forgot your sound effect, Karen.
Well, at least I'm not using that word you used last time.
I was just chatting with somebody before the show, and I said, "Yeah, last time I think was the time that I was visiting with Karen. The conversation got a little bit derailed, and we talked about some unusual things. I won't mention what that is.
Yeah, it was funny though.
Thanks for letting me hijack your show last time.
Oh, it's always a pleasure with you, Paul. Such a nice person. Yeah, so where do you want to start today then?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. It's been too long. What? It's probably been like a month or so. So it's good to chat.
You can join us.
Cool, good to chat with you again, and everybody on the panel. I'll appreciate all the love and support that I hear whenever I come on the show. So it's really appreciated. I just love the community. So many great people and so much cool stuff, especially happened this time of year. I mean, we're now 29 days away from the Denver conference, and just can't wait. It's going to be great. It's the biggest flat Earth meetup in the world.
Yeah, it's going to be big.
Flat Earth Dude, we needed you there to do some for us, but you're not going.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching from Hawaii, so you guys have a good time.
Okay.
That sounds pretty rough.
Freezing your asses off. I'll be out, swimming in the ocean.
Nice.
Look at all that flat Earth water. Look at all that flat water. That's right.
Yeah. Carry on, Flat Earth Dude.
Oh no, hopefully you guys won't have any snow or anything.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Wow.
It'll dump, but we'll be in climate controlled conference center. So it's only when we go outside. It'll be when we go out to the the day before, we're planning on meeting up at the billboard there, which is I don't know, 10, 15 minutes away from the airport. So we could have some weather out there. Could be bring your snow boots.
Did you see the Sunday morning piece?
I did. I was planning on talking about it on my show tonight a little bit. Yeah, that's a. I mean, what do we expect?
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, exactly.
Same
I mean,
format.
They conduct. Yeah, it's the same thing over and over again. They have to address it because it's big and people are hearing about it, so they have to address it. And it's an attempt to kind of discredit it and make it kind of silly and see that there's no basis to it. But you look at some of the people that they did the interviews, and obviously they all are sharing some evidence and proofs and that sort of thing, but they're never going to air any of that stuff. You're never going to hear anybody talk about water being level and flat, right, and the many laser tests or microwave tests that are going on, or any of the old
reports are listening to what he actually said.
High altitude balloons.
Yeah.
All that.
I'm not going to go through any of that. They're just going to use the sound bites of is NASA's images real or fake? Oh, they're fake, and then they just move on. It's like, okay, no, you know what, Sherlock? Of course that, but why? They won't ever go into the why, and that's why we can't expect anything different.
Hey, if you do get interviewed, make sure you record the whole thing. If you get a chance.
Absolutely. Every time I've done anything like that, I've recorded it just to be able to share what, the 99% of things that didn't make it in. I understand they got to cut it down, but yeah, they're not going to share any proofs.
Oh, it's like I've breaking up a little bit there.
Yeah, I'm breaking up.
Just a tiny bit back now. You thought that was funny. Anyway,
this is where Flat Earth Dude says it's not me, it's you, because he's breaking up with us.
I got to go find myself.
And you said that you're doing one there.
Yeah, sorry, Karen, you're breaking up for me too. I don't know. Maybe it's my connection. Can you say it again, please? Sorry.
I was typing. Maybe can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
I
I
can
was
hear
saying
you all.
before we went
I'm
live,
back,
I was
sorry.
telling you that Mr. Thrive and Survive and Dave Marsh have got a workshop together. They're going to be doing that there. But you said that you've got one as well.
Yeah. Anybody that's been listening to some of the shows that on Truth Frequency Radio that I do, my co-host, well, he goes by Noxygen, or I call him Noxy for short. But he's been doing some research for about 2 years on the subject of gravity and how it works and the stories behind it and the theory of. And he's about ready to release a video. In fact, he'll be working on it tonight. Hope to have it out this week. That's going to address a lot of these things and show that what they're telling us about how it works is completely fabricated and false, and all the problems with it. And some demonstrations on how it works and why it works the way it does. And it has to do with the ether and fluid dynamics and buoyancy and some separation forces. So without spoiling it too much, we're going to be going kind of deep diving that at the workshop. I believe it's going to be Thursday afternoon. I haven't confirmed the time with Robbie yet, but we will be doing a workshop at the conference. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. I'm getting a lot of background noise.
We can hear you okay.
Okay. Yeah, so it's going to be exciting. We're going to have some demonstrations as well, which is going to be a little bit different. Well, I'm sorry, what?
Flat Earth Dude's driving. He's muted now, so now you won't hear the noise. Carry on, sorry.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Yeah, I thought I heard some beeping. No, what I was saying was that we're going to have a demonstration, some little bit of hands-on stuff at the workshop itself. So it's not going to just be some PowerPoint slide and two guys talking through it. It's going to be a little bit more interactive, and so we're working on that over the next couple of weeks here, and going to have to bring the parts with us, and promise it's going to be something you won't forget.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I wish I was going, really.
It'll all be recorded. I believe the workshops will also be recorded as well. So we'll be able to share them, I assume, afterwards. So, the main speakers and all that, I think, are going to be streamed live, but all the workshops are also going to be videoed. So we'll have the opportunity to share those with everybody that couldn't make it, probably after the fact. So you won't miss out. Yeah.
And you're going to meet Alex, Conspiracy Music Guru.
Gonna meet Alex. Gonna be great. Yep. Cannot wait to meet him. He is the star of Flat Earth Music Television on my channel, and all of his great work and music videos. And he's got some great stuff planned for the conference. He's got some new stuff he's going to be performing and releasing. So it's gonna be one big party.
Yeah, I was explaining to you that I had asked Alex to come on, but he went no, because he's really, committed to this convention and music and everything, and he just wants everything perfect, and he doesn't want anybody, he just doesn't want to be distracted right now. His mind is convention, singing.
Well, I'm sure he's not going to disappoint. I'm sure he's going to do a great job.
But this is probably the biggest thing he told me it's the biggest thing that he's ever done.
Well, that's why he's treating it the way he is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great.
It's that much for him too, I think, as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what he's got. This is a big gig. I mean, he's obviously used to performing, but he's microphone, green screen, and all in the studio and that sort of thing. So getting up and in front of and doing it live, that's a whole different dynamic. So I'm sure he's focused on that.
Paul, that he's an old. He's done it in pubs and things, and he's done the circuit, as they say. So he's used to all that rap. So I mean, yeah, he'll do that without not a problem. But it's probably nerves over anything, if anything, more than anything, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's probably putting a lot of pressure on himself to make it absolutely perfect. So he's probably his own worst critic, like we all are, and he's going to probably do a lot better than he even thinks he will. So, Alex, if you're listening, we're thinking about you, man, and we know you're going to do a great job. So no pressure. Just go out and have fun, because if you're having fun, Alex, we're all going to have fun.
Hey. Yes, a big hugs to him. Yeah, and he's going to come and tell us afterwards. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll see some videos too. I mean, it's going to be all over. No question.
You've got a few things that you'd like to say as well?
Yeah. I've really got some things to share tonight. Really excited about some things that are going on with Paul on the Plane and some of the work that I'm doing. So, first of all, just today, in fact, I just uploaded a video right when we were going live, announcing I've finally got my website off the ground. So I've got all the videos that I've done, and some of the stuff that's not available on YouTube is available on my website now. You can see Flat Earth Music TV from the website. There's a whole bunch of articles and obviously, past shows from Truth Frequency Radio and all that. So I'm really excited to get my website out there, and I'm going to be producing some content that is exclusive to the site only, which won't be on YouTube or anything like that. So I encourage people to go to paulontheplane.com, and there's a little bell on the bottom right-hand corner. So if you hit that, you'll get notified of when I upload new content. And what some of that new content is going to be is I am going to be, and really tickled to announce this as well, going to be joining the team over at Flat Earth Radio, which is a 24-hour live talk radio station that they're building right now. It's ferlive.com, and I'm going to be doing a show on Thursdays there, probably going to be starting out next week or the week after, and it's going to be a 2-hour show. And I'm also going to be starting, kind of spinning out of that is going to be a podcast. And so the show and the new podcast are going to be called Dome Life with Paul on the Plane. And it's just going to be more coverage of, what's going on in the Flat Earth community, what's going on with the latest experiments and tests and news and notes and commentary and special guests. We're going to be checking in with people every week from all around the plane. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're really excited for it. So I can't wait to get some of those episodes recorded and out there, so you guys can start hearing that. And then the last thing is I wanted to let people know that my Truth Frequency Radio show, which is on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern here in the U.S., is going to be expanding to 2 hours. Right now it's just a 1-hour show, but after the conference, was just talking with the station manager last week, and opportunity to expand it to 2 hours. So I'm definitely going to take him up on that. So we're going to be able to provide a lot more Flat Earth content live and online. And that's my whole idea, is that we want to get as much content out there as we can for the masses, and speak to many people as we can about this subject, and keep the conversation going, because more and more people are waking up. And I think the more we can show that this is the conversation and that it's okay to talk about it, and that there's a lot of people that are involved, that's going to give more and more people, I think, the confidence to just kind of come out of the closet. Because I literally think that there are millions of people, I should say, I think that there are literally millions of people that know that there's something going on. They know about the globe lie, and it never really added up for them. And they were always suspicious of it, of the moon landings and 9/11 and a lot of this stuff. But they're too afraid to come out and say it, for the fear of ridicule and what their friends and family might think or whatever. And I think we can continue to build their confidence that, hey, you know what? You're not in the vast minority anymore. Join the movement, get involved, whatever that means for you, whatever your level that you want to be at, as far as, if you're going to be, just on social media, if you're going to be out, doing some experiments, you're going to be making videos, you're going to be hosting shows, you're going to be, doing whatever that is, however you want to be involved. It's going to become a lot more socially acceptable as time goes on. And so that's just why I do what I do. I want to get more people comfortable with this.
It's coming back in the fold with things. It's a part of.
Yeah, I think it is. We talked a little bit about the CBS piece that came up. Was it Sunday? Yeah. If you've been, like Mark Sargent says, if you've been, involved in the Flat Earth community for any more than 3 months, you're going to see that. A piece like that, and you're going to think you're just going to call it a hit piece. Oh, it's just a hit piece, whatever. You know what? Yeah, it's obviously meant to address it. It's meant, I think, to acknowledge that it's happening. But it's tongue in cheek, like, you know, it's baseless, you know, and they had some guy that won Jeopardy that's really good at regurgitating facts come in and say that we're crazy, you know, and I think smart people see through all that. But at the end of the day, here's the bottom line. The words flat earth and some very normal people were shown that, you know, are you know, put some credibility in the whole idea was on national television. Okay. Can you imagine this 5 years ago or 10 years ago? No, and that's because this movement is getting big. People are, this thing is growing fast. It's growing fast, and you're going to see more and more of this. It's not going to get easier. It's going to get tougher. We're obviously going to see more and more of this stuff.
Can I say something, Paul? I saw that. I agree. It's nice that it's been noticed, being talked about on a good level or on a bad level, whatever. But at the end of the day, we know truth is fundamental in everything. And it's that, you know, we're all looking for. And I think, don't get me wrong now. I mean, we've all heard this before. Truth will prevail. And it's that will happen. The truth will come forward. Everyone will see. And they'll be like, what? We've been lied to forever. No, you know, and all the cognitive dissonance, and it's true, you know, it's the truth that we need as our essence, you know, it's the basis, the fundament, the foundation of everything. The truth, nothing more, nothing less, just the truth. That's all we need, isn't it?
I think these powers that should not be, that are obviously behind putting these pieces together, and whether you think it's, you know, completely intentional, or if there's some, you know, nefarious acts going on in these hit pieces, whatever you want to call them, at the end of the day, I think it backfires on them. They're the people that don't want to, you know, even give any credit to flat Earth. They're going to see that, and it's just going to be their confirmation bias. But there's a huge group of people that are going to see these things and go, just like me. And I'm a classic example of this. Is that when I first heard those two words put together, I was curious why anybody would think that. And I started looking into it for myself. And that's what these pieces do. At the end of the day, what they do is there's a percentage of the population that sees them as doesn't just throw it out, you know, the baby with the bathwater, so to speak. They go, I wonder why. Why could people think that these days? I'm curious. I want to know what some of these proofs are. And they'll start researching. And that's why we are here today. And some people maybe not want to call it a movement, you know, they just want to call it a community. At the end of the day, it's moving and it's growing, it's getting bigger. And you can deny it all you want, you know, that, oh, this is just going to die off or whatever, or science is going to prevail.
No, it won't die off.
You can't. No, it's already past the point. It's already past the point of no return. There's no way it's, you know, if anything, they're going to have to continue to slow it down as much as they can. You know, they're going to try and contain it as much as they can. They can't stop it.
Yeah, and we do see that happen, don't we? You know, with YouTube suppressing, Instagram suppressing, and I mean, it doesn't matter where, everyone is suppressing, even like, you know, mainstream media. I know here, I'm living in Denmark, right? And this year is like it's a space year. It's science and space. And so every night on the TV, you've got this planets being thrown down your throat. And you've got this, you know, I mean, they come up with these names. I mean, who comes up with the names? Because you know what? My child can come up with the same name better even, you know. Any kid can come up with those names. Globular this and terra blah 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 and do you know what I'm saying? It's all indoctrination. At the end of the day, all they're doing is just like throwing this globe theory, space theory. No, it's not even theory, is it?
Only theory. We've heard that we've had two physicists, and all they do is waffle. They don't say anything. But can I just say, first of all, congratulations on everything you've said, Paul. Because no one said congratulations yet, and that's well.
Oh yeah, thank you, Paul. Yeah, and congratulations.
And that is obviously very hopeful if the radio station want to up your hours, not cut it down. So that's really positive, isn't it? Can I just say that if there's any noises here, it's not me, it's my dog who's under the table. It keeps going to sleep and snoring. And then She's just moved around, but she just starts snoring. And the other thing is that when you said it's there, what it was is flat Earth used to be here. It used to be in articles and magazines. And in the 1990s, they completely killed it. But then there was this gap from the 90s to about, say, 4, 3, 5, whatever it is, years ago. So it's like a gap of 20 years. So it's not that it wasn't there, it was. But then for 20 years, which is like a generation or two, isn't it? There's been none, so everybody thinks there hasn't been any when there was.
Yeah, you start doing a little bit of research and you start saying what a big conversation this was in the scientific community in the late 1800s and early 1900s. You know, just with all the publications that luckily we can still get our hands on, and some of the old scientific documents, and you can clearly see a path, you know, to suppress that and to come up with new stories and explanations and get it into the schools and just get people to look at observations or excuse me, make observations about the sun, the moon, and the horizon and all that. And then they just said, well, it's a ball. And then they create NASA and they say, well, it's confirmed. Look, here's a picture of the ball. So everything we told you is true. Now go about your business, and we're going to distract you with these other things and keep you dumbed down, keep you busy. And it's just going to become a way of life before you think, you know, you're not even going to think twice about it.
I think the best thing for, well, especially the kids anyway, the best thing for them to do is to think. I mean, actually think, not to be, you know, tainted by any kind of bias that they've had from pre lessons or whatever in school or from their mum and dads. Just to think. It's basic thought. It's as simple as that, isn't it, Paul? Water is flat. It can't stick to the bottom of a flipping ball. It can't. And if they tell us it's because of the size of the Earth, well, okay. Why is it not happening to other planets that are supposedly spinning around our, you know, solar system? Nothing's happening. They're telling us shit, and people like jump on it and think, oh yeah, this is great. It's like chocolate. Do you know what I mean? Right, yield the floor.
Yeah, it's programming. It is. It's a very cleverly designed system of programming. You know, you teach some basics at a very young age, and you reinforce it throughout their life, and you keep them distracted with other things. You know, and I think there's a really good show I have coming up. I'm going to be in Ireland for 3 weeks, so I pre-recorded a couple of my TFR shows coming up, and I had a chance to visit with Dr. John D, who's the PhD scientist over in the south of England. In fact, it's been doing a lot of great laser and optical experiments over great distances, looking to measure for curvature. I love it when people say, "Oh, how come there's no scientists or PhDs that are behind this?" Well, clearly you haven't done any research whatsoever, because there's tons out there, and there's more and more that are starting to produce content and start to show some of their findings and some of their thoughts. And these are classically trained people as far as universities go, and with very advanced degrees, and they're coming to the same conclusions. But the conversation I had with Dr. John, which, you know, kind of spoiled a little bit, he talks about what it's like. He's a teacher, he's an instructor, and he talks about what it's like in school. And he says, Paul, you don't get it. He goes, the system is so cleverly designed that I can say anything and my students will believe it. I can say absolutely anything, and they just nod their heads, they take their notes, and the whole system is designed that these children and these young adults do nothing but learn how to take tests. They learn how to take in information, not how to critically think, not how to analyze it, but just regurgitate facts and pass a test. They are taught simply to take tests. They are not taught how to do tests themselves. They're not taught how to critically think. They are taught to do one thing, and that is receive the information, the programming that we have for them, and then go out into the workforce and in their lives and regurgitate what they've been told to think. That's simply is what it is. That's what the system is designed to do. And here's a guy that is part of the system, multiple degrees, teaching and shaping young minds. And this is how it works. It's not a surprise why it works so well. You get them early and you got them for life.
Yeah. But it's quite like, I just think about it sometimes. I just think, how can this be? How can this be that we're so far away from the truth and so many lies and that whole NASA thing? You know, like, oh my goodness. I just think it's terrible because most people don't realise that they're just living a lie. Their whole life is fake.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think the key is there's just, luckily there's enough people out there that aren't completely just asleep, so to speak. People that, I don't know whether it's just the way they were raised or whether it's the way they're wired, they're naturally skeptical about things. They don't just believe everything that they're told and then go out and turn it into their dogma or turn it into their religion and defend it, till the cows come home. But enough people, obviously, we're all here today because somebody mentioned something to us and we didn't just dismiss it out of pure religious dogma that we thought that we had it all figured out or somebody else had it figured out for us. We went out and sat down and started to practice some critical thinking skills. Okay. Whether that, again, is something the way we're wired or we were taught to do it, however that is, this is separating the men from the boys, so to speak, or from the women from the girls. This is about critically thinking, and the people that are out there, in my opinion, that are continuing to defend the globe lie adamantly, these are people that know there might be a problem with it, but they're so tied up with it. It's such a part of who they are. It's just their belief system, their philosophy, and their whole life is based on it. They're not willing to give that up. There's a large group of people that are willing to think for themselves. They don't just take everything at face value. They're not sheep, so to speak, and they go out there and they start researching this. And that's why you see it when you Google flat Earth now, you're going to find the first 3 pages are all garbage. Okay.
Oh.
They realize that more and more people are starting to look this stuff up and they can see the numbers going up and up and up. So they got to come out and make sure and try to dissuade people from looking into it, make it look as silly as possible. Because if you can break through that first little thin layer of the propaganda that's out there, this whole thing is going to open up.
Yeah, it is. But I suppose because we all woke up or realised, then it was.
How come, Karen, when you heard the words flat Earth, how come when you didn't come across a flat Earth society and look at it, how ridiculous it is, and shut down your web browser and go back to what you're doing? How come you press forward? Have you ever asked yourself why you continued and didn't just get shut down the first time somebody laughed at it or somebody said it was ridiculous? Why?
The first time I saw it was like December 2015, and I just sort of let go to 9/11 because there is no ending, because it's not like at the end of the day they actually did the good thing and told the truth, so you're still left with well, that's as far as I can go on that. And then I thought, oh no, what's this? No, I can't look into something else right now. I just can't. And then something happened about a month later, and I thought, okay, then I'll go to debunk it. First video, it's real.
Because you were willing to critically think, and you didn't just see some information that said, well, ships just as they get further away they start dropping down, and you didn't just go, oh, okay, well then it's a ball flying through space, boom, done, and you went to the extreme. No, you were like, well, what's behind that? What else could be going on? How come I don't feel
can I say, Paul, the
yes,
thing that got me the most especially is the water. We know about the properties of water. I mean, this is like everyone can see it. Absolutely everyone. And anyone who's listening can see it. It will always remain level. It's never going to bulge, is it?
Absolutely not.
Unless there's a tidal wave coming towards you.
Around, but it's supposed to keep trillions of tons of water stuck to the board while it's spinning. But a butterfly can fly.
It's ridiculous. It's absolute nonsense.
We're told that we are the ones.
It is nonsense.
It is. We are told that we're the ones that are, fall for anything. Religious nut jobs. A lot of people, will say because it says in the Bible that the Earth is flat, so you just believe anything and all this stuff. And I say, you know what? It takes a lot more faith to believe that you are on a ball spinning through infinite space in 4 different speeds, 4 different directions, corkscrewing, and curved linear motion, and you don't feel a thing. It takes a lot more faith than what you think I have, buddy.
Paul, most, and I guarantee you this, I would say 98% don't even know that they're spinning in 4 different directions, and just like you've
That's right.
spinning 1,000
I
miles an
guarantee
hour
you
in the
that.
equator with a water
Guarantee
bulge
it.
there, things like that. They don't know. And then it's like, well, the captain on a plane never says, hey, like for you, you're going to go to Ireland, aren't you, Paul? We're just slowing down now because this Earth is slowing down now as we go north. Or,
It should
hey,
take
America, we're getting faster now.
it should take 2 to 3 to 10 times as long to fly from the States to Ireland, because I'm chasing Ireland. When I take off from the States, Ireland is spinning away from me, to the east, and we've got to travel pretty fast, and it actually takes more time coming back. And that's because of the winds, obviously. But I should be able to, when I take off from Ireland to come back to the States, the States should be rushing towards me at that latitude, about 500 miles an hour.
Planes are supposed to be in the Coriolis effect, aren't they? So all they'd have to do is just take off, hover for a bit, and then the world spins round and then come down again.
Yeah, we're told, the snipers, they have to deal with Coriolis and all this stuff, but the planes don't, but they say the planes don't, because they're moving too slow or whatever, but the bullet is moving fast. Then Neil deGrasse Tyson goes on a show and says that the Earth moved just a little bit. It moved the goalpost just a little bit and caused that one kicker to miss the field goal. In the same breath, that he says that planes and other things aren't subject to the Coriolis, but a field goal kicker is kicking a ball.
Yeah, basically, when he kicks it, the ball it would just go.
Yeah, he was on a show. I can't remember the name of the show. He was talking to a young woman, and he said,
was it a comedy show that he was on there? It must have been, because, I mean, for God's sake, the guy's supposed to be a scientist, credited and all that lot.
I'm telling you, he said,
like that. It must have been
people got to go check it out for themselves. But he said, yeah, during that instance that the Earth moved, just a little bit between, the time that he kicked the ball left the ground, and by the time it reached the goalpost, that the goalpost had moved slightly because of the Earth moving. And that's what caused him to miss it. In the same breath, he'll say that, air balloons, airplanes, really anything, my drone, my quadcopter, none of that stuff is subject to the Coriolis effect, but a football being kicked is.
We've just heard all this. I'm sorry, a Flat Earth dude is doing a really good job, and I really appreciate, because then he just shows what idiots they are. But hopefully maybe he'll get somewhere with Spiro, I think his name is, this physicist he's talking to. But listening to them, this one guy said, you go through it, under it, round it, over it, you turn around, you look at it, you make your what it's going to be, then you come back, and then that's it, sort of thing. There wasn't one scientific word he used, nothing. It's all just rubbish. They're not saying anything. They're just waffling.
No, but I think what he was trying to do there was describe, like, when you it's like when you think of a painting or how to come up with an idea, scamper idea, substitute, combine, adapt, modify, and then PER, whatever, I forget now, but you understand what I mean? It's probably something like that. That's why I said you go over it, under it, through it, beside it. When you look at things, you have to do it from various angles and aspects, so you get a better understanding of it. And I think that's what he meant.
I think the clip, I just did a quick search for it. I think I found the clip and put it in the chat. Neil deGrasse Tyson explains how the Earth's rotation affects football. Posted January 30th, 2017. I think it's on the channel of the interviewee, Katie Nolan. So I don't know. I think that might be the one. I haven't watched that one that I linked up, but check it out. He's explaining there that during the Super Bowl, somebody, I think it was whoever the Patriots were playing in the Super Bowl, that they kicked it. And the reason he missed it was because the Earth was moving. I am not kidding. Check it out.
I mean, if you really think about it, it'd be bad enough being on here with it spinning, and even in an aeroplane, it'd be like, you wouldn't even want to be in an aeroplane. It'd be the worst roller coaster ride of your life, speeding up, slowing down, up, down, whatever it is. Because don't forget, the shorelines are all supposed to be at different levels, and they're not. So the way they're telling it is you should be going up and down and round, all this, and speed up, whatever it is. And when do you ever see two planes pass each other, one fighting? It's all ridiculous, isn't it?
Ridiculous. But, hey, again, you go back to the conversation I had with Dr. John about, the system that we all came out of. If we went to school, we were taught not how to think, but what to think. And so, and then all the reinforcements kick in our adulthood. We see all of these movies and TV and the mainstream narrative, and everything is kind of reinforcing what we were told in school. So people just don't even think about it. And that's the whole point here. People just doesn't even enter their conscious. And the few people that do hear the words flat earth, and more are seeing it now. Thank you, CBS. Thank you for putting these two words together, because there's going to be a percentage of people that see these things for the first time that go, I'm curious why people would think that. I'm going to go look into this deeper.
It's quite bad how lacking in thinking that we really are, and then how intelligent and, modern we are when we're not.
Well, I think we're born to be very curious and very skeptical and that sort of thing. I think it's, the programming and what we go through, the experiences that we have are meant to suppress that. I've got a 2-year-old little girl, super curious, very skeptical about everything. Everything, she's looking at it, wondering what's going on. How does it work? What does it do? And want me to explain everything. This is the way it's supposed to be. But I think that gets suppressed, as we go through our schooling, go through our indoctrination, and we're told that we got it all figured out, and you just have to learn the material, and then you don't even apply this. A lot of this stuff you don't even apply in your daily life. You're just going through this programming, and then you come out the other end, and they reinforce it a little bit along the way, and they keep you busy and distracted. And that's why we're here. I don't think it's really that difficult to wrap your brain around this.
Yeah, they keep you busy, or you get busy, and there's just not enough time. But then what changes is that some of us have started to think and wake up. And I've sort of thought now, like most people are watching the television screen. It's just some of us now can see behind the screen. So this Enoch thing, the behind the veil, we're seeing behind the veil.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what separates kind of the critical thinkers from the ones that are just maybe too dumbed down. And I think they dumb you down enough to not care, because it's all figured out. You don't have to worry about it. We got it all sorted for you. So just worry about what the Kardashians are doing. Make sure you know what's going on with your football team, and we're going to make it easy for you. You got movies on demand now. We got it all sorted. Don't worry about it. You just go enjoy yourself. That's what we hear.
Also, those who have really woken up, this is a peaceful, I don't want to say movement. It's not a movement. Everybody's being more peaceful, aren't they? That's how it's the only way we're going to work, is if we're more peaceful and do this together somehow.
Absolutely. That's why, I love the work that you do, Karen. Just bringing people together, creating relationships. That's why I'm big on the conference. I decided to sponsor the conference. I'm a big believer in bringing people together and forming those bonds. Those things are going to last lifetimes, and hopefully multi-generational when it comes to the truth seeking community. So I can't encourage people enough. If you have the ability to get to Denver, please do so. You're not going to regret it. You're going to come out of that thing just really glad that you made the time and the investment. It's going to change your life. I truly believe that, because that's what it did for me in Raleigh. And I have very high expectations going into Denver. It's first class. It's a first class convention. I've been to some pretty crappy conventions or conferences, for business and that sort of thing. You step into this thing, and if it's going to be even better than I'm sure that the last conference was. This is like first class stuff. We've got multimedia and big screens, and you feel like this is the real deal. The work that Robbie Davidson is doing is excellent. And for those of you that are too far away, then get that live stream pass and don't miss a minute of it. It's cool to be able to be in the chat and watch the live stream and chat with everybody else that's watching too. And you'll catch a lot of it that way. But this is no joke. This is. I was talking to Robbie, and I'm going to have him on the show maybe next week on TFR. We're going to talk a little bit about the conference like we did for the Canadian one in July. We had the show in July for the August conference. But, the amount of media requests that he is getting is, I don't know what the number is, but it's so much more than it was last year. This thing is, It's helping put flat Earth on the map. And again, like we talked about, there's going to be people that are going to, write their hit pieces, and they're going to try and make us look silly. But the joke's on them, because everybody that they touch, there's going to be a percentage of people that are going to go, I'm curious. I'm curious. And it's going to tap into that, what we had as children. I'm curious about why.
Yes. What do you think it is? I mean, I don't know why I didn't see it earlier on, to be honest, although everything was out for me. And it's almost as if everything's wrong, isn't it? That's where we are, is everything is kind of wrong.
Well, you get to a point now, I think, where you're like, whatever is in the mainstream narrative, it's probably the opposite. It's come to a point now where it's like, they say that this is good, or this is the way it works. I would be willing to bet you that most of the time now that's not how it works. And in fact, it probably is the opposite. Because they it's all about, keeping all of the cattle and the sheep moving in the same direction, just trying to, kind of contain everything, keep it moving and that sort of thing. So yeah, be skeptical, ask questions. That's one of the first things that I learned or relearned, from my childhood. Once I started waking up to the reality about everything, about the world, how it works, is started to ask questions again, and not just take everything at face value,
Yes. Why do you think that some of us have seen it and woken up and others haven't then?
That's the $1 million question. We could figure that out, and we could really potentially make this thing grow even faster than it is.
Here's one for you then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Answer to that, Karen. One day, when you were a child, young, you had a child sat next to you. I don't know who she was or he was. They ABC before you did, and they understood 1 + 2 before you did. You know what I mean? We all have this, some people just get it before others get it. The key. Some people get it before others get it. I mean, it's as simple as that thing.
These people look at us as if we're absolutely crazy. Can I just say something? DITRH's in the chat room. DITRH, are you coming on? He'll get the message in a second.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's in the chat room. Come on, DITRH.
He's a busy guy. He's making it happen, getting ready for the conference too. So, but hopefully he can jump on. I'm sure he'll be able to. I'm sure he'll have some funny things to say.
He's probably out on his flipping yachts, sailing away, taking pictures with his what's it called?
Oh, he says he's in the car.
He's got his drone up, flying above his yacht.
Shout out to David Weiss. He's a bulldog. Love him.
Yeah, we love him too.
He's making it happen. Making it happen. If you're going to be in Denver, it sounds like we'll see him at the registration booth again. He says hi to everybody. Hey, I wanted to mention though, if David is listening, I want to know that there's a radio show now on Flat Earth Radio called Down the Rabbit Hole. So Dave, just in case you're listening, I think you might be number 2 now. You're not number 1 anymore with the Rabbit Hole show. Just FYI.
He says he can jump on. I'll just say, DITRH, I've sent it to Facebook Messenger. Hang on, maybe I need to add him by email. Hang on, he's going to come on and say hello. Let me just get his email.
Yeah, if anybody's listening that isn't subscribed to Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, DITRH, then you need to do that right away. Every video is 3 to 5 minutes, just great nuggets of information, and you're not listening to the Flat Earth podcast. Make sure you get a hold of that as well on your favorite podcast app, because he and Matt Long are really doing a great job with that as well. Good stuff. I think David's got some surprises coming up too that he's going to be talking about at the conference. So stay tuned for that. There'll be some reveals. I think.
I have sent him the link on Facebook. I don't know if he wants me to email him.
Here, I can send him the link in Skype. Maybe that would be. Let me do that real quick.
I think he's out. I'm not sure if he's out in his car though.
Let's see here.
Oh, thanks then. I'm not getting down to his email quick enough.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the link again here.
Yeah, you have a very nice radio voice, don't you? Cool.
Do I?
Yeah, I think you do.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I've got a face for radio too.
Yes, I know. I used it, didn't I, in the bit for this tonight. The little trailer.
I've got a face for radio. That's what I realized quickly. So I'm not a fan of being in front of the camera too much, but I don't mind talking. If I can hide behind a microphone, then I'm a little bit more confident, shall we say?
So
okay, I found the link. I'm sending it to David right now.
Okay, I'm going
Skype, just to see if that helps. Maybe you can access it better there. David, just send it to your Skype.
I've cracked the screen on my phone yesterday, and my phone's not moving properly today on emails.
Isn't that just a pain in the behind when that happens? I've done that. I just did that myself for the first time, probably about 3 or 4 months ago. It was horrible. Yeah.
Now it's shattered.
Oh, it did. Yeah, be careful you don't cut yourself. I'm afraid that's what happened to me. It was so rough. I was afraid I was going to start slicing up my fingers, you know.
No, it's flat, shattered. It's so annoying. I'm so annoyed with myself, but you know, how many times do you drop your phone? Who hasn't dropped their phone?
Yeah.
Does that mean that everybody's going to be sort of spaced out, the people who are doing the workshops then? Because you never know, you might actually be next to Mr. Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't seen the schedule yet, but there's kind of two, in talking with Robbie Davidson, the organizer, you know, go to fe2018.com, and the schedule for the main speakers at least is up there now. But I believe there's going to kind of be 2 tracks. There's going to obviously be the main stage, and then there's going to be kind of the workshop area, which is going to be a separate room in the conference center. But I think it can accommodate up to 100 people or so. But essentially, there's going to be kind of 2 tracks that people can go on. There's going to be the one that's kind of more, I'd say, secular, where it's, you know, just kind of like scientific and you know, again, kind of secular, non-religious, so to speak, not a lot of Bible talk and that sort of thing. And that's going to kind of be one track that people can go on and go to some workshops there. And then there's going to be, you know, for those that, you know, that that like to focus on the biblical truths and you know, how it relates to flat earth and the proofs in the Bible and that sort of thing, because there's obviously going to be a number of speakers there that are in workshops that are going to be going on that track as well. So what Robbie's trying to do is try to be able to cater to more people, you know, because there's some people that maybe that might turn off a little bit and they want to stick more with the secular stuff. They'll have a track for that, and those that, you know, want to be involved in that, you know, side of the flat earth conversation, they're going to have something too. So I think that's how he's trying to split it up, to be able to kind of, you know, appeal to even more people, which I think is a great idea. So, you know, again, hats off to Robbie for putting this thing together. I can't imagine, this guy just must not sleep at all. I mean, he just got done putting on the Canadian one in what was that, in August. He's been to like 2 or 3 conferences to speak at. Then he's released a book. He had another documentary come out, released it on YouTube like last week. And, you know, now he's heads down on the Denver conference. I mean, it's just amazing what this guy's, you know, work ethic is like. It's ridiculous.
Yes, I imagine. Plus, this one's going to be even bigger and better, if you know what I mean. And more, I suppose, a bit more serious, isn't it? Because it's the second.
You know, and that guy was out flat smacking Was it last week? He was out with Jason Tomlinson. You guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can hear you. Listening.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was out flat smacking too, on top of everything else he's doing, which was kind of fun to see.
Yeah. Just, I mean, this guy's 24/7 flat Earth, which is just awesome. It's so
impressive.
Awesome. Hey, Karen, David sent me a
man.
screenshot back that looks like he can't access via that link. Do you have another link you can send him?
Yeah, I'm going to try and add him on the panel, but I'm just trying to get his whole email up. So you could just message it to me, so I've got it in front of me.
I'm just using it on Skype. I don't think I have his email either. Oh, wait, maybe I do. Wait a second. I just forgot he emailed me this morning.
I can't remember it all.
Here it is. Oh, it's just, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's his Flat Earth podcast email. Let's try this.
Shout out to the chat. Anybody in there?
Yes, chat room.
What do we got? I can't see the chat. I'm over here working and listening and hanging out with you guys. Sorry, I'm very occupied, but I'm listening and laughing a lot because of the ridiculousness of. I want to tie Paul. I want to tie together your scientist you're dealing with was the guy who was doing the. He's the optics or something, right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think what his specialty is. Spectrography or something like that.
Spectrography.
Yeah, that's his specialty. Right? So it's all about refraction, and that's really what he's all about. He studied light, how it travels through a medium.
I want to tie that together with the sun piece. You could put it together, those something in a rotor.
No, you're breaking up. You're breaking up on me. I don't know if anybody else can hear him, but I'm having trouble hearing you.
I wanted to tie that together with the Sunday morning piece that they did, where you have, this guy's telling us this Jeopardy winner, just a real scientist.
Well, no, he's not a scientist. He's just good at reading something and retaining it, and then regurgitating it on the spot. And that's all his brain is able to do. He can't critically think.
But there was some in that Sunday morning piece also that ties together with your scientist. Goodness, I should know that, but where. He's a regurgitator versus somebody actually going out and doing something. And of course, the education system here. And he was talking about, you just remember stuff. I find that interesting. That's how you get through school. You memorize what.
That's it.
You take a test and you know what they told you what to.
Yeah. Here's an instructor.
What they put in this. Yeah.
Here's a teacher. PhD, credentialed scientist. Teacher, instructor, shaping young minds, and openly admitting our whole premise is to get people to prepare to take a test. That's it. We just have to get them to be able to pass the test. You are here for one thing, and that's to pass the test. To get to move on. That's all that matters. And so what he's doing now, and you'll hear him talk about this, is he's starting to really, this obviously his, waking up to this reality. And he went out and did his laser tests and optical tests and all this, and there's no measurable curvature. No matter how much people can say, I can see this or see that, there is no scientifically measurable curvature. Get over it. There isn't any. The surface of water is always flat. Lasers and microwaves and cameras are proving this day in and day out. So you need to get over that fact. You're going to have to come up with something different. But what he's found is, and once he woke up to this, he has now changed very subtly. Obviously he can't threaten his job, but very subtly is now working with his students and getting them to think for themselves. And he has, and he talks a little about some of the one-on-one conversations he's had with some of his students, and they've said, what about this? What about that? And he's talked about how he's answered though, and get them to say, well, beyond just what the book says, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? So if you guys get a chance, I'm going to air it in about 2 weeks on TFR, 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to air it. But it's a really good conversation about kind of the inside of what's going on in our schools in the world.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'll definitely share that. Sounds
Can I just say
interesting.
DITRH has joined us, just so you know he's there?
Here, hold on. Let me boot him. Hang on.
Very funny.
Banned for life. Banned for life. Banned for life.
Banned for life. There you go.
What's going on, Dave?
What's going on? Hey, man.
What is that for your icon you've got there now, DITRH?
It's the same one. It's me looking for the curvature.
Did you find it?
It's just too good.
Did you find
not.
it? Oh,
did
shoot.
not.
Foiled again.
We're going to have to call you Mad DITRH.
That's kite surfing for those of you that don't know.
So you're out and about, DITRH?
I am out and about. I'm just a little busy day. I got a little bit of time right now. I'm in between 2 things, so I can talk for a little bit.
Have you two met each other before?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Sorry, have you met Paul before? Because you're going to the convention, aren't you?
Oh,
yeah, we had an opportunity to meet in Raleigh, yes, and then in fact, I went out when David and Jaron were being interviewed. I think it was by Vice TV. I was out there with my drone taking some shots of the billboard and all that, so I had a chance to meet him, and he's a great guy. Just comes as advertised, exactly like you hear him on his show, on his podcast. And if you don't agree with him, he's going to either ban you for life or punch you in the face. It's simple as that.
I'm less New York Jewish in person. Yeah, so I heard you talking about the conference. I just got excited because it's right around the corner. It's less than 4 weeks away now, right?
Woohoo.
About 4 weeks away.
Yeah, it's like 29 days. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, just over 4 weeks. So that's exciting. The billboard is going up any day. There's a 5-day window, and I think that started either yesterday or it starts next Monday. But the billboard will be going up, and that'll be exciting. Should cause some buzz in Denver.
Yeah, I can't wait. Hopefully, Bob, with Glowbusters or somebody else in Denver can go and get some shots of it once it's up, and so we can all see it in advance. And then for those going to the conference, the day before, in the afternoon, we're going to be all out there, rain or shine or snow or hail or whatever's going on. We're going to be out there milling about on the day before the conference on Wednesday the 14th. So if you're going to be there, get there.
Right. The plans, the time, it's going to be around 3:00. It's going to be a little fluid. So follow our Twitter at the FE Podcast on Twitter, and we'll be tweeting out last information like, hey, we're leaving. There's a bus at the hotel. Grab an Uber if you're at the airport. Go directly to the billboard. We'll throw out directions. So that's where you can get your last minute information. Dave Murphy's going to be there. Dave Marsh is coming, right?
Yeah,
we were just talking about him. Yep.
Yeah. So
Alex.
Alex is coming. Alex will be there. It's going to be a blast. Jaron will be there. It's really just a pre-conference meetup on the side of a highway with a giant billboard. And if we have enough people, I want to spell out Flat Earth and people in the field right in front of the billboard, live stream that with the drone, and that should get some information. If we have 200 people there, we could spell out the Earth is flat. It would be amazing. It'd be amazing. So bring your snow boots just in case, and make it to the billboard. Whether you have a ticket to the conference or not, come to the billboard.
Yeah, it's a great idea. We got to get as many people out there as we can. We'd love to be able to spell some out, and with the sea of humanity, all these flat earthers. How awesome would that be?
That would be amazing. I'm actually thinking of where can we find like a club, like a club of people in Denver that we can get to come and just like, hey, check this out. Where we'll incentivize them some way to come, and so we could have more people there. That would be pretty cool.
Isn't there a thing where like you're hired to protest? Can we just get a busload of protesters to come out and protest the globe? I mean, pay them all
I
like
can call
$10
I can call George Soros, my buddy, and he'll
Exactly.
pay the protesters to come out.
That's
there.
what I was thinking. We just need a couple busloads of protesters of the globe.
Hey! Sarcasm like that does not go on this channel, buddy. Please, George Soros, what?
All right, no, never mind. I retract my statement. So Paul did allude to a little surprise I have, and let me tell you, I'm not going to give you any hints, but it's amazing. It's going to be the greatest flat smacking tool that everybody is going to want, and it's free.
Mm.
How about that?
Now,
Yeah.
believe me, David has shared a few of the details with me just because I begged him and I had to pay him a large sum of money because I could not wait. But he is not kidding about this.
Yeah.
But we have to wait.
But you have to wait.
Dynamite. It's dynamite. It's super dynamite, and everybody can have one.
No matter if you're at the
Super.
conference or not, you're going to get one. Oops, did I say that out loud? Sorry, dude.
Yeah, it's all right. So it is not too late to go to make plans and go to the conference, because if you're a flat earther, there's nothing like this anywhere else. You know how you're out in public with all of the zombies, you do well, life is good, you have your friends, but there's a disconnect because you're surrounded by sleeping, fluoridated, vaccinated, GMO'd morons. And,
Chemtrailed.
chemtrailed morons. And when you go here, I tell the story 100 times, is we were in the bar area of the conference. After the conference, there was probably, 200 of us or whatever the number was, and nobody is looking at the games on TV. Couldn't even tell you what sport they were. We're all just talking to each other about everything. You didn't have to like whisper, 9/11, Sandy Hook. You didn't have to whisper. You could talk about, boom, boom, and the information was coming out. It's so much fun. So much fun.
Come and take off your flat earth armor, set it at the side, take off your helmet, your battle axe, your shield. You don't need it. Come in and, hang out with some like-minded people. There's nothing like it.
And I'm looking forward to the group of street activists that are coming, and plan on doing street activism in the evenings. I think Robbie has stuff set up at a bar or a restaurant where they're going to be doing activism out in the street. Well, I'm going to go out there with them, and so is everybody else. There's going to be too many of us out there. It's going to be
Oh, Dave, you're breaking up.
Nobody's going to stand a chance.
DITRH, you're breaking up a little bit.
Street.
He's driving. There's no satellites over him right now, so.
He sounded like the $6 million man. He's breaking up. Steve, I can't hold it. He's breaking up.
More like the $6 man.
You can't be heard. Wrong.
So he can't hear us, obviously, because he just keeps going.
Yeah, that's what happens when it goes funny in the car. The person can't hear. Sometimes that's what's happened to Flat Earth Dude when he's talking.
Yeah, he's spouting some serious truths right now, but we can't hear it.
Dave, DITRH. No!
Let's see if he'll reconnect.
Oh, he's still there. Just. Sorry, everybody in the chat room. Just bear with us here. Damn.
Yeah, I've got about a couple more minutes, Karen, and I'm going to have to jet. I've got a meeting I'm going to have to jump into here shortly. But thank you again for having me. It was great to catch up and talk to Astral and Flat Earth Dude. Patricia, good to see you. And it was awesome.
Sort of concentrated on the next few weeks, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
Well,
going to be doing some traveling, planning for the new show and stuff. But yeah, the conference is the focus, and can't wait to be there with hundreds and hundreds of other like-minded individuals. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, well, be sure to give us a call, man, while you're there.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to.
Quick one. Anyway, I know you'll be busy.
Yep. And if you guys are around in the middle of the night, those of you in the UK, going to be talking more about the conference tonight on Truth Frequency Radio, and I'll be checking in with Noxie and the Gravity video and the documentary he's doing. And yeah, we've got some fun stuff coming up, so stay tuned, and can't wait to share with you guys what we found.
Yeah, can I just say, Paul, thanks for coming on again, and I love your videos, brother. You have the cleanest videos. They're just so clean. That's my interpretation. I love them. Carry on doing what you're doing. It's awesome. And yeah, I love you, brother. Keep on.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, I make sure I scrub those things
real quick
before I upload them.
Real quick, it's a rocket that blew up, and the astronauts were okay and fine.
What was that again? Sorry, I missed the first part of that. Can you repeat it?
The Soyuz that blew up.
Oh, and they were fine.
And they were fine.
Yeah. Well, it's because they weren't in it.
I know.
It's very simple.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah. No, you're right. Again, your eyes are opened up to this stuff. If you have an open mind, you'll see this stuff. You'll see it.
And that one astronaut in the middle of the picture, he's a big boy.
Dave's back.
You need a little extra. You need a little extra fuel for that guy.
Dave's back. Hi, Dave.
Hi. Hold on.
We sound a bit better now, actually. Anyway, you sound a bit louder.
Do I?
Yeah. Paul says he can't stay much longer, but I did say that to you anyway, that he was popping in his lunch break. It's really weird because it's actually 10 o'clock at night for me, but it's your lunch break.
I could stay for 10 more minutes. That's it.
That's okay. We appreciate you coming on, because I know that everybody's actually buzzing for the convention now, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
And everybody.
I don't know why I can't hear you guys so good. Give me 1 second.
All right. And with that, I will say thank you, everybody. Love you. Karen, thanks again. And
hey, Paul, great website, man. Great web.
Thank you. Yeah, if you guys haven't had a chance to see it, check it out. allthepod.com. Just released it. Just launched it.
If somebody has like a NASA moon question, just go to his moon series. It's just great. It's a great way to get off of YouTube, because if you notice now, if you put your autoplay on YouTube and play a flat Earth video, you get Neil deGrasse Tyson, you get some Mars mission next. I mean, they are trying everything to steer you away.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. And eventually a lot of the stuff that we produce is not going to be available anymore. So we're all, I think, Dave's got it on his website, stoplookthink.com, the flatearthpodcast.com. We're finding other places to store this information. So it's going to be there in some way, shape, or form when we continue to get censored and suppressed.
Can I ask you, Paul, you're on, I know I share your stuff on Google Plus and other BitChute, but what are you on?
Well, yeah, I mean, I upload all my stuff on YouTube. No, I don't really use any other platform. I do use a little bit of Twitter, but yeah, I'm starting to upload my stuff to BitChute, and then obviously everything's gonna be on my website, so I'm gonna just be pointing people there, because that's where I can control the information and not have it subject to a Neil deGrasse Tyson video right after mine that attempts to debunk it with a bunch of logical fallacies and circular reasoning.
Yeah, and you sound like you've got so much to do anyway, Paul, as well. DITRH's busy, you're busy. I mean, those things you were talking to us about, you've got quite a lot on your plate as well, haven't you? Hello? Paul?
I guess
Yep,
you
I'm
lost.
still
You
here.
lost Paul. Oh no,
Nope,
there
I'm
he is.
still.
There he
I'm
is.
sorry. I thought you were talking to Dave.
Well, no, both of you seem very busy people, but you're all buzzing to get to the convention, aren't you now, really?
Yeah, that's the focus right now. Getting ready for the conference, and then things will settle down after. And once we all come down from our high, we'll be back to business as usual and continue to try and wake as many people up as we can.
You said that you're off to Ireland as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there for a couple of weeks. Family trip. I'll be working while I'm over there, but I'll be a lot closer to the UK. So maybe we can set up some more time to visit.
Paul, have you got Irish in you? You sound Irish anyway, a little bit to me, at least sometimes when you're speaking. But do you have Irish in you?
I get a lot of Irish in me because my wife is half Irish. She's from there. She's born in Dublin, but
All right.
we watch a lot of Irish TV and listen to a lot of Irish shows and stuff. So I probably am hearing it more often than I would be otherwise. So I'm sure it kind of reflects.
Okay. It's a false illusion then, but you sound Irish. But obviously, I mean,
I'll
obviously,
be
if your wife's
sounding.
Irish, you have that dialect.
I'll be sounding Irish for
my
sure.
ex-wife is Danish, but she had a Mancunian accent. It wears off, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it definitely does. So I'll be sounding the most Irish I'll sound is at the conference because I'll just be back. I'm going straight from Ireland to the conference, so I'm gonna be I'm definitely gonna have an Irish accent then. With Guinness on my breath, probably. Oops, did I say that out loud? All right, I gotta go. I gotta get back to work, guys. Thanks again for
All right,
everything.
lad.
Love you.
Thanks
Thanks,
very
Paul.
much, Paul. Thank you so much. We'll speak to you soon.
Later, Paul.
Later, guys.
Karen, you were asking Paul some questions, which made me force myself to call in because I wanted to answer them, but I completely forget what they were.
Oh, was it about
Could be the chemtrails in the sky.
then? Was it?
Oh, one of them is there's some people that just won't wake up, and what do you think their reason was? And I think the reason literally is the environment that we live in. And when I say environment, the air, water, and food and medicines that we take inside our body. I have some friends that I've been trying to wake up to 9/11, Boston, and the rest of them for years, and chemtrails, and they just would not see it. And I brought up flat Earth, and they couldn't even hear what I was saying. But they were having some health issues, and I got them on distilled water, which I think is one of the biggest, well-kept secrets out there on detoxifying your body from fluoride and all of the other poisons. And after a couple of months of being on that and not using fluoride toothpaste, he woke up and he sees it all. And I've seen this happen more than once. So I think when you say what stops some people from waking up, and the one word comes to my mind is the calcification of our pineal gland with fluoride and all of the other poisons that come in if you're dumb enough to take a vaccine, and the distilled water actually leaches those inorganic compounds out of your body and out of your brain. So there's my pitch on that, and it's a game changer.
And there's something else as well, because you sent me the video to it. Was it Marty Lee?
I did.
Talking about basically if you've been told or talked to or see flat Earth and you don't do anything about it, you're a coward.
I love that. That is. I use that line now all the time. You're a coward. You don't.
I say that a lot now, David.
Watch my last video on DITRH. Basically, that's the message I'm sending at the end of that video. It's a 3-minute video, maybe shorter.
Yeah, I mention that quite a lot now.
Yep.
Because it's like I just think that people obviously don't want the change, or they're so programmed, or maybe like you say, there's too much fluoride, or there's too much things. There's watching too much television. Do you think it's when you turn the television off as well?
Yeah. that too. Occasionally, I'll watch a little show just to get out of the constant research that I'm doing, but I'll watch it consciously and I'll see the messages in it, and I'll see through the magic spell that it's casting over the people. But it's amazing. I had to for business, for myself and for my son, put our cell phones just today so we have a hotspot so we can work on the road. And I don't get off of me about the radiation and stuff. I'm totally there with you. But they are giving away television. If you sign up for the hotspot, they give you like 30 channels of TV on your phone, along with HBO, Showtime, or any one of the premium channels for free. They are doing anything they can to get you to watch their crap and stay asleep. It's amazing.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you wake up a bit, you realise what that's all about. So, in the chat room, I just asked that question: who watches the telly, or just occasionally for something? Because, like you say, you need some relief, and occasionally to put the telly on's okay. But I used to watch all the soap operas and things, but now it's all rubbish. Yeah, there's the man himself.
Hello, I just want to show you what our sky. This is our sky right now, which is just disgusting. And you walk around and talk to people, tell them to look up. They cannot see this. They don't see it. It's unbelievable. Can you guys see this?
Yeah. Do you know what that looks like? That looks like a UK sky.
This is what it looks like every day here. Sometimes, and it gets worse. So there's that.
Anyway, you're going somewhere tonight, aren't you?
I am going to a awards banquet I'm going to be in and out, in and out.
What's the movie?
Say that again?
What's the movie?
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Sorry. What is the movie?
What is it about?
Yeah. Well,
He said he's going to be in and out all night. I thought he was on about.
Yeah, no, I'm going. It's just a. Funny. It's just a awards thing for environmentalism, people that are making a difference in the community, and I have an honorable mention. So the main reason I'm going is I know the keynote speaker, and I rewrote her speech for her. We'll see if she says what I wrote, because it's pretty funny. But that's all.
Oh.
Not interesting to talk about. Not interesting.
Okay.
Hey, and the last note on the toxins in your body, people are all worried about flu season. Well, flu season doesn't start until after they start injecting people with the flu. Nobody gets the flu until they start except some people get sick, but it's such an insignificant number. It doesn't start until people start getting their flu vaccines, and then the flu spreads from people that got it and spread it to people that didn't get the shot, because they're just infecting themselves, and that's what's going on.
I never thought about that.
About that.
Being injected against it are the ones giving it to everyone.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So my thing now is talking to people that aren't flat earthers, and just waking them up. And it's getting so easy. Anyone you bring it up to, they're like, you know what, I heard about that, or my kid said something, and and I told her, well, you got to use logic. You can see a boat going over the horizon. It's so easy when you talk to a new person, because the stuff they bring up are just the mind programming from Bill Nye, the boats over the horizon, seeing curvature from an airplane, the photos of Earth. It's so easy to defend. You don't even have to be afraid of not having an answer, because their first 20 questions, you got the answers. All of us do. And it's getting easier and easier. And the other thing is, people that know and aren't talking, just like Marty said, they're essentially cowards. But I don't want to tell them they're cowards. I want to tell them, get some courage and do it. My girlfriend, we were at a music festival, and for the first time, they were spraying the sky. It was a beautiful blue sky weekend, and they started literally checkerboarding the sky. It was unreal on the second day. And I had these chemtrail little business cards, and I started handing them out, talking to people, and I gave her a couple. I go talk to somebody, and she's kind of drifted off, looking for the right people that weren't rushing by. And a couple minutes later, I found her, and she had like 8 people around her, and she was talking flat Earth, and she had the greatest time. She said that was fun. The look of thrill on her face, like she, was just on a great roller coaster. So if you haven't done it, try it.
Sorry, David, can I interrupt you? Did you by any chance see any of John Smith's Globe Tour? Because
I've been following his tour. I've been supporting his tour.
He had an amazing time in Newcastle. The people there, they were like so alive, so awake, so turned on. And it's like, okay, is it something in the water? Is it something to do with the latitude they're on? And you start thinking, what's going on, man? How can it be?
Maybe something not in the water.
Exactly. I hear you.
Yeah. So it's very interesting to see different people in different places. But I'm telling you, a year ago, 2 years ago, it was a whole different story. It's so easy to talk to people about flat Earth right now. And you know what? If they think that you're crazy, that's their problem, not yours. And so, it is. You know what? I have my fuse. There's no fuse left. I have no fuse left for people. I have 0 fuse left. 0.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no point trying to, it's always being told to be kind if you've got to do it that way, isn't it? But it is a bit hard when it's your family that think you're crazy or whatever. I just think they trusted me to be their mum. They trusted me all that, and now
you want to hear the craziest thing is, only my mother, 93 years old, knows that I'm a flat earther and agrees that the Earth is flat. But my brother and sister have no idea that flat Earth even exists as a thought. Is that crazy?
Yeah, I think there's enough information now that, and my middle son says that he's noticing that a lot of people his age are just noticing there's something really wrong.
That's the other thing is, kids are bringing it up to their parents. Kids are bringing it up to their teachers. One last story. I got to jump off, but if you're still on in 15 minutes or so, and I'm back in the car, I'll jump back on. But there was a class, an astronomy class. I forget if it was high school or college, and the teacher comes in the first day. First thing the teacher says is, if you think the Earth is flat, you're in the wrong room, and you need to leave now.
Ooh.
So that's the thing. Kids are talking to teachers. They're talking to the parents. They're bringing it up. The kids have it. The kids have no fuse. The kids have no. They're not censoring themselves.
Yeah,
that's the best news I've heard. What's that?
I said, hooray to the children.
Yeah, right. Hey, I will. If you're still on and you want me back, I'll jump back on in 15 minutes. You'll probably be off.
Yeah, we might do, because we might be off. But thank you so much for even trying to come on, and
all right,
on your busy day too. It's been really nice, DITRH, and it was really nice to have Paul on the plane on as well. So, been brilliant.
He's brilliant. He's a smooth talker and knows his stuff, and he's well organized.
He's a nice man.
I got to get back to my my stuff and my project, have it ready for the conference. So We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.
Hey,
Yeah.
nice hearing from you. Nice hearing from you, David.
Thank you so much, DITRH.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
Big
Bye-bye.
hugs. Woo. Us lot now. Who's there? Is Flat Earth Dude there? Patricia? Patricia, are you there? Flat Earth Dude? Patricia? It's just you and me then, Astral.
Oh.
No, I'm here. I'm here. Sorry.
Hey, Patricia.
Hey.
That was nice though, wasn't it? I know, you know, because haven't got a convention right now. You forget that they are going to go to one, and now, so everybody's now beginning to gear up. Now there's like Alex, DITRH, Paul on the plane. Anyway,
Yeah,
did you enjoy
exciting.
that? Pardon?
Plus, we have to also take into consideration that this conference is going to mean something. Like more than the last conference, if you understand what I mean. Every conference has to surpass the last in some way.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it was nice having DITRH and Paul. They're both
Yeah.
great guys.
Amazing stuff. I can't wait to see what David's come up with now.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. It's a tool. We're all going to get one. I find that exciting.
Is that probably an app on your phone that you can use?
Maybe
So it's a 666 stamped on your forehead. Hope not.
Hey, just wanted to say Cammy's come in our chat room. Hi, Cammy. And there's lifting the lid. Paul's still there. Paul on the plane.
lifting the lid.
Joe Mama. Robin lifting the lid.
Joe Mama.
Tom. Let's Be Practical. Richard's there. Fabian's there. Bliss is there.
Wow.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
Darb's there as well. Hello, everybody. Do we want to talk about anything for a little bit, or do you think?
What do you? Who do you got, Karen? Or next week? Or you got some people coming up this week, next week?
Yeah, I can tell people in the chat room. We've got obviously we've got Santos on Thursday.
Wow.
We've got Mr. Oh, and that's with Matthew Mackenzie, and I think also David from last night's coming on. And then on Friday, we've got an evening with Mr. Thrive and Survive. And then on Monday we've got David Mannell, who is is he from New Zealand, Astral? South African, or which one is it? Where's he from?
South Africa.
South Africa, yeah.
Trinity 4.
And he's got a lot to say about well-being and stuff. And then on Tuesday, I asked Wolfman and Anthony THC. You know, he does cannabis oils and stuff. And it was just obviously because I was on that hangout the other day with Sheeps and Neeps and stuff, and they're all talking, you know, and helping each other. So that's really great. Anyway, he wants as much information out as possible. So that's Tuesday. And then we're hoping to link up with Roxanne and Harry and on the trip. And then, yeah, that's as far as I've got.
Yeah, those guys are really doing a great job out there on the UK tour. Catch most of it. Great information. And yeah, they were really friendly there in Newcastle. It has to be the beer that they have there, the Newcastle beer.
Did you like that? Have you tried that?
Oh, yeah, I've had Newcastle. It's good. It's good beer. But there might be something in it. I don't know.
What, the Newcastle Brown Ale?
The brown ale, yeah.
The NBA.
The NBAs. Yeah, that's good beer. I would recommend it.
You know, I'm a Manc, right, from Manchester, and the beer of choice there for me, preferably when I was there anyway, was Boddington's. And if you've ever tasted Boddington's, you will understand what I mean when they call it the cream of Manchester.
I'm stopping on my way home and getting some.
It's called the cream of Manchester. And if you've ever drunk the beer, you will understand why they call it that. You can just You can in fact, go on YouTube and look for advertisements because they had some good adverts back in the days for Boddington's. Yeah, nice beer. Boddington's
right.
bitter.
A bitter. I like a good bitter.
What are Americans
Nice.
do more?
Well, there's a phenomenon going on in America here now with the beer,
Right, Earth dude?
and we have a lot of new beers here, lots, thousands of them, literally, and they're microbrews. They're real small, and that's what a lot of people are drinking. But the people that are asleep, man, I think they're all drinking Budweiser. So I don't know. Try not to drink Budweiser, everyone, please.
That's quite heavily here in the UK, the Budweiser.
It's horrible. I think they put extra fluoride in that stuff. So don't drink it. It's made from rice. Probably GMO rice too. Yeah.
Uh,
And it gives me a horrible headache. Ugh. Anyway, no, it was a good show. Everybody's gearing up for this. I think a lot is going to happen between now and the end of the year, especially with the conference. We got the National Geographic piece they did with the Salton Sea coming up. We got the Sunday morning yesterday, day before, we had that. That's a major show. 20 million people watch that show or something. The word's getting out. Like Paul said, we're getting the information out. They're fighting against us, which is pushing the information out even more. And hopefully, out of the 20 million people that saw that Sunday morning piece, hopefully, maybe a couple 100,000 people will go and research that, maybe a couple million. I don't know. But it is growing. Flat Earth has legs of its own now. And people are way more interested in talking about it. And that's thanks to everybody's effort. Yours, Karen, Astral's, Paul's and Dave's, everybody, mine. We're making a difference, man. We're getting it out, and we're seeking the truth, and we're trying to wake other people up to the truth, man. And
Can I ask a dude? Do you think 100th monkey effect has been reached?
Yes.
You think it has?
I do.
Because
I think it might have done more in America than it has here, though.
I don't know. I mean, I watched the Newcastle thing, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I mean, there was.
And not just there. I mean, I ask people.
Even you, Astral, lately.
People, and they say to me, "I'm flat. I believe the Earth is flat." They tell me directly. I ask them directly.
Astral,
they're younger people, Astral.
Young, old, I ask everybody, I'm just asking people.
Right.
Because I need to spread the message. I need to spread the word.
Right.
Have you looked into this? Are you aware of where you're living? Or are you just under a sort of a cloud? Sorry, go on, dude. What
do you feel like you're spinning?
No.
No, Astral, you're an interesting case because, I mean, I remember, earlier in the year you were talking about, I can't find any flat earthers. But now you've been running into how many lately?
I find them all the time now.
I mean, there wasn't like that back in a year ago.
Okay.
A year ago, it wasn't like that.
For example, just today, right? So I'm with my son. We're talking about the moon landing. And he's under the impression we went to the moon. I'm like, well, okay, if you believe that. But okay, look into this. And I'm telling about the picture, about the camera tipping up and How did
Right.
that happen? And, you know, I'm going through it all and everything. Technology, blah, 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 blah. But he's so smart. He's so smart. Of course, he's so smart. He's 16 and he's so smart. He's not looked into it, but he just knows better. Cognitive dissonance. And I said to him, look into things. Before you start, you know, dismissing all this, just look
Right.
into it.
Look into
So-
it. Look at the fakery. Look at the horrible. Look at the crossing shadows, which is impossible.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we walk in, and I asked somebody, do you think we went and landed on the moon? And the person said, they looked at me a bit weird at first, and I asked them again, and they thought about it and then said, no, we never landed on the moon. And my son, he was like, Dad, what are you doing? I'm like, just chill out. And I
That's
went
great.
further. There were 4 people sat at the table, and I stood there, and I said to them, "Do you think we landed on the moon?" And they looked at me, and I said, and I looked at one person in particular, eye contact. Do you think we went and landed on the moon? She said, "Well, not Denmark in particular, America." And I said, "Do you think America did?" She said, "Well, no, they pretended it, but no one landed on the moon." I'm like, okay. And then her husband,
love
or
it.
the guy I presume was her husband, sat beside her, asked him. No, he said no. And the other 2 people in front of them, they said no. So those 4 people said no. So then I turned my back. Me and my son walked home, like, you know, and I said to him, "There you go. I've just asked 4 total random people if we had landed on the moon, and they said no. They're 4 random people. That's 100% hit already, and
Right.
even more statistically, innit? 4 people. First ask, you know. But regardless of all this, he will probably look into it, you know.
Right.
I'm not bothered anyway. And I know I'm not bothered. He will see it eventually. He will.
Right.
I hope.
No, he will.
Otherwise, oh man, what a rage.
No, he'll
I
see
yield
it.
the floor.
No, it's getting easier. Like Paul and David said, you know, it's getting so much easier to talk to people about this stuff, man. A couple of years ago, it was tough, man. It was tough going. Man, I used to get hammered. People telling me I'm fucking crazy, and you're like, you know, dude, what's wrong with you? But now it's like, you know what? That's interesting. So I'm glad to see that.
I think
that it's something's shifted. Something.
Yeah, okay. I agree. But I think when people used to say, "You fucking asshole," or "You idiot," or "Get away, you
Right.
retard," or whatever, we've become immune to that. So we don't hear that, you know. We hear it, but it's like, yeah, but have you considered this? Have you ever thought of this? You know, it's like it goes in one ear out the other, doesn't it? It's like we're immune to it. So
Yeah.
it's probably we're still getting it, even though you don't think we are. We still are. I know we are. I hear it all the time, man.
I'm really looking forward to Paul's interview with the spectrometrist guy or whatever, the guy that he took those pictures. He did a real good scientific observations on some lights across some water, and you know, he's a real scientist, man, and he's doing it real super scientific. And Paul's going to interview this guy, or did already. He's going to have it up in a couple of weeks. I'm really interested to see what his partner's doing with the gravity. He's done 2 years of research on gravity, all the history behind it, how they came up with it, and that's going to be really good information. And then Dave comes on and tells us he's got the ultimate flat smacking tool of all time, and we all get to get one for free. So it's a really good day, man, to find out this. There's so much great information going on out there, and everybody's doing amazing work, man. Even if it's, you know, talk to one person a day, man, about it. It's it's making a difference, man. So let's keep going, one day at a time. We got this.
Is that how they do? They create this kind of Mandela-y thing? Because Paul said, "Oh, it's here," as if it's never been here before. Because he's a bit younger than me, and for the last 20 years, well, up until the last few years ago, for 20 years there was a gap. So is that how they create this thing? Because a generation or two won't know anything about flat Earth at all. Whereas you could find magazines, you could find articles, it was mentioned. Maybe not. We didn't have computers like we do now and internet, but is that how they do it? They just don't talk about it for 20 years or something, and then people then don't even know it's been there.
Well, the 70s, 60s and 70s were so heavily indoctrinated in the moon landings and the space and the Sky Lab and the space shuttle. I mean, there was a lot of this stuff being pushed. And the 90s, man, it just kind of like, there was not a whole lot, And then
Probably they almost got us there. We'd had the $6 million man, we'd had Space 1999.
then we hit
we'd had
9/11 threw us all off
yeah.
track. That was a big blow, and took us about 10 years to get over that. And now we're just since 2011. I mean, it's been some flat Earth stuff coming out. 2013, whatever. 14.
Yeah, and the people who haven't woken up don't even realise it wasn't. This is what I'm trying to say about how they were able to do this, because in the 1900s, most people believed they lived on a flat plane, like electric
Right.
cars and things, and then came the First and Second World War, which destroyed these wars destroyed most of Europe's infrastructure. And then we come out of that, and then we've got television, oil, petrol, going to the moon, and time savings. So they actually did it in the 60s.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go back and look at a lot of the movies in the 50s, even were really like this wild space travel movies, and there was crazy television shows about early 60s and Star Trek, and they really pushed it starting in the 50s, man. But the very first movie ever made was about going to the moon. And I used if you've ever seen that movie, I think it's called a Trip to the Moon or A Journey to the Moon. It's the very first movie ever made, about 1900. And it's funny, the movie starts out with all these scientists wearing their wizard outfits. And then they switch the wizard outfits out for their lab coats. I find that very, very telling. So there's a lot of wizardry going on. Believe me, man. These people are into their witchcraft and spellcraft, however you want to call it.
Growing up, a lot of films were into that.
Yeah, and so yeah, we got bombarded with this stuff. I don't know, like I like what David was saying about the fluoride, man. If you can get off of fluoridated water for a month or two, man. Like he said, his friend woke up, and maybe that's part of the trick, man, is just getting people to get off of that fluoride for a while. And
I think the television is a big part of it, to be honest, because that's just controlling you. You just don't realise it, and the subliminal messages, and don't forget,
right?
Everything's fake. It's all fake. I think especially when you turn it off.
Yeah, the subliminal messages, the symbolisms, the programming of the globe everywhere. It's everywhere, from the commercials to the shows, and even in the sports. You see that. That was funny. Paul telling the story about the guy missed the field goal because the earth moved. That was ridiculous. I was laughing so hard. People in the shop over here are going, "What is he laughing at?" I'm like, "Oh no, he did not say that." Oh my goodness. So yeah, that we got a lot of trickery coming. We've been thrown at us, and fortunately, there's a lot of us that are seeing through it, and we're getting through it. We're taking all their science and throwing it back in their face, and we are winning, man. We've got, like David said, man, it's so much easier now to flat smack somebody because we already know the questions and bullshit answers they're going to give us, and it's so much easier now. And in Flat Earth, it's kind of got its own legs now, man. I don't know how many more tests and stuff we need. It's great to, go out and test things. It's fun. There's nothing wrong with it. But we got all the information we need, and it's out there, man. It's easy to, although they are erasing a lot of it. Some of the greatest things I ever watched about Flat Earth are gone, man. Can't even find them.
Can I just say something, Flat Earth Dude? Fabian in the chat room keeps asking questions about why do we disbelieve so much. But, even if you just take NASA to lie to the people so badly about something they're not even in and doing, and the whole thing, and the glitches, and just everything, the material, the paused astronauts, the sinking cost, when they're actually getting on the moon, you can actually see through the astronauts. It's just astronauts. That is to mind control the people and make them believe in a whole reality that doesn't exist, that is controlling, lying to the people and making you feel so small. And you carry on, Flat Earth Dude. What would you say to that? If they want to know why we disbelieve.
Well, if you use your own actual awareness of where you are on this plane, and you stare at the stars and the moon and the sun and the water, and you can see very long distances. We know the curvature. We know what the curvature is supposed to be. We've tested it. We've looked at it. You go to the beach. I've been at the beach and can see 200 miles to the left and right. So it was 100 miles to the left, 100 miles to the right. I can see islands that are 100 miles away. There's no way I should see them. So that just proved to me, without a doubt, we're not living on a round surface. It's just not. It's not there. It's just not there. Water doesn't bend. I hate to use the.
So a lot of people don't understand about this thing about at the equator, you'd be spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and if you're at the North Pole, you're not moving at all. And yet, if you've got an airplane, you're not going to notice any difference from going to 0 to 1,000 miles an hour. And the captain takes no notice of any of this. The plane doesn't, nothing. So it's all just it's all a lot.
And we have the technology to prove all this stuff real easy. NASA could shut us up in 5 minutes. They could put a camera at the South Pole and the North Pole and let it run for a couple of weeks. We could watch the sun. They could put a couple 360 cameras over there. We could watch the sun go round and round. They don't do that. They could put a satellite in space, and we could actually have a real-time live video of Earth. They don't do that. They could take a camera and put it on a rocket and not edit it. Just show us the footage from the ground all the way up to the space station or wherever they're going. Just give me that 24-hour video with no cuts, no edits, no CGI. They could do that.
Water can't stick to a ball, because if you can make water stick to a ball, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too, man.
But
it's not
Flat Earth Dude. That's more or less the smoking gun that they haven't done any of what you've just said.
Right.
You know,
None of it.
put a camera on the moon, put a probe, send
Why?
whatever it is you're going to send up, let it land on the moon so it's focused at the Earth and we can tune it in and, you know, get it nicely so we can get a good picture of the Earth. No, never been done. Never going to be done. The ISS shows pictures of the Earth instead of this garbage that you show us.
Right.
You know, like, show us.
Or,
I mean, for
you know,
Pete's sake, show us.
I know that we have telescopes that can zoom in on
number plates, apparently.
The moon.
They can zoom in
they
on
could give
number
us
plates. Yeah,
give us a
from up
28.
there.
Give us a 2018 high definition 4K video of where they landed supposedly on the moon. They left all the equipment there. Show me a video of that landing site.
Have you been looking for it?
I've been looking for it for 3 years.
Well, there you go.
I got nothing.
Go and look up those time lapses of the rockets going up, and basically they go up and they come down.
And they go up and they come down. And even the latest one, last week, even last week, SpaceX time lapse goes up, comes down. So yeah, I mean it's.
So that means no in them because they expect they can.
They could shut us up in 5 minutes, and they would have if they could have. And
what
they
it means
can't.
Is we know, we're awake, we know, and there are many people that don't, you know, and they're aware of how many people don't know. That's the problem, you know.
Yeah, but we're growing. We're growing.
Yeah.
We're growing.
We need to grow.
And we all need to do something. Whatever your specialty is, if you're into video or audio or picture taking or telescopes or just get out where those people are you know, interested and start up a conversation. Or maybe you're into drinking beer, man, go to the bar and talk to people about it. Just if you got an opportunity
write
to talk
it in a magazine.
Piece
of paper with a note on.
Money, egos. It's all about just making money. It's all lies and it's all to control the people because what are they called? Fabian still doesn't believe. Oh, David's back.
Hello.
All right.
Hey,
spill the secret. What is it? Come on, spill the secret. What is it? You got me all going.
I'll tell you what it is. Well, not really, but it's it's a thing that when ballers see it, and even some flat earthers see it, they go, "Huh?
Oh shit!
That's how it works."
Ah, nice. I'm excited.
And then they go, and I've showed it to a bunch of non-flat earthers, and they're like, "Where can I get one?" They want it. They want it.
So you're going to unveil this at the conference?
If it's ready before the conference, I will unveil it then. But
okay. Cool, man.
I'm not waiting. Excited. As soon as it's ready, it's going out.
All right.
Cool.
So yeah. All right. That's
can't wait.
You can't wait. I can't wait.
So taking that out to the Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah. Sounds exciting too.
Just hold on, couple weeks.
We got it. We can wait. We've waited. You know, we've been looking for a smoking gun for quite a few years now. Maybe this is it, huh?
I wouldn't call it a smoking gun. I would call it
a smoking BB gun?
Teaching tool. A flat earth teaching tool that's very stylish.
Oh, okay. All right.
It looks good too.
Every tool we can get, man. We want to bust them out, man, if it's good. So.
Who's on the panel here? Because I can't see.
Flat Earth dude.
Astral and Patricia and me.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
So I'm in traffic. I probably have 15 minutes. And what are we talking about?
Well, we were talking about, if NASA could have freaking shut us up, they would have shut us up a long time ago with a couple of simple things, and they haven't done it. All they can do is ridicule us on Sunday morning CBS and try to make us look stupid, and that's the only tool they have left. And I think.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I
No, I
know
was
that
going to say that. You first. Go.
That's all they got left, man, is that tool, and we're winning. Go ahead.
That tool doesn't work anymore because I can't tell you how many people read.
Hello?
Oh, no.
Dave, you just muted yourself. That's
Can you
it.
hear me now?
Oh,
I got a phone
yeah,
call.
you just
jumped
muted
in.
yourself. Say that again.
All right, it was a phone call. Sorry. People that are not flat earthers that know that I'm into flat Earth were like, "Hey, what's up with this?" They're asking questions now. Because flat Earth is out there so much that even that negative hit piece has got people going, "Huh? I'm going to go check this out now. Hey, I know somebody, and it's out there." Marty Leeds is he saw it. Friends were contacting him. Excuse me. And now he's coming to the conference because of CBS Good Morning. So it's not hurting us. I mean, it's not nice, but and a positive piece would be much better. But as Mark Sargent always says, and Nathan Oakley, there's no bad publicity. And I used to fight that, but it's kind of true.
Well, I've heard that my whole life. Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, good publicity is better, but
yeah.
But that's a big show here, and there's my mother-in-law.
It's publicity at the end of the day, good or bad. Whatever way you look at it, it's publicity, and it's whatever way it's perceived, isn't it? So some might take it as bad, others see it in a good light.
My mother-in-law, who we brought up flat Earth with, just refuses, and it's ridiculous. But and just says that she just can't. She doesn't want anything to do with it. But she loves that show, and she loves cats, and that show featured Patricia and her cats, and now she's curious. So it woke up the impossible mother-in-law.
That's great.
Okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was. I when I saw it, I knew immediately. I mean, I've been watching Sunday Morning my whole life, and I knew immediately this is going to reach like 20 million people this morning, and it had enough truth. Patricia did a great job on that 20 question thing.
She did great. They interviewed
that
her
was
for
absolutely
hours.
Right. I was there that day, and Jay just interviewed everybody for like 4 or 5 hours. It was just going on and on and on, and they they get a 7-minute piece out of 4 hours of conversations.
I had a hard copy followed me. I did a big windsurfing race in 1998, and hard copy filmed us literally 24/7 for 3 days. And then when they put the piece out, it was under 2 minutes.
Yeah. So, have you got any press requests for the conference or no?
Press requests, like
has anybody said I want to interview you? Are you
no, nobody's reached out to me.
Okay.
I'm always looking for that radio host, television host, or whoever that says, I think flat Earth is nonsense, and I want to talk to somebody about it, or I want to ask questions, because that's where I feel good, and I'm able to make a difference, I think. So, those are any radio hosts out there that are talking flat Earth. If you hear a radio show and they're talking about it, they don't know what they're talking about. Throw them my name, throw them my email, which is info@theflatearthpodcast.com, and say,
Okay.
talk to this guy. I think I do a pretty good radio interview, and it's very enjoyable and fun, and a lot of people get a lot out of it. So that's how you can help. Like people, I don't want to go on television. I'm afraid to talk to my neighbors, friends and stuff. But let's say you're listening to a radio show, they're talking flat Earth. Send them a note. Say, hey, reach out to this guy. He's got some information that might blow your mind. Make it interesting. And I've gotten calls that way. I got on a couple radio shows that way. Or recommend anybody else. Paul LaPlane, anybody. But I'm willing to do it.
Could I just say, Flat Earth Dude, you've got a bit of background noise.
Yeah, I do. I'm at the shop. Sorry.
When you talk, could you just mute until you talk? Because it's drowning David out. He's a bit lower because he's in the car. Sorry, Flat Earth Dude. I hate doing that. Sorry, carry on. No, not you, DITRH. You don't have to mute.
No, I mute when I'm not talking because I make a lot of noise. But I got any questions? If you have stuff you want to ask me, because I can talk about anything.
Yeah, I thought you said when I was talking to you on Messenger, you said, "Oh, I've got some things I'd like to say. I've got lots to say." So I was thinking, great.
Right, and the chemtrails have completely erased them from my memory.
Oh no.
They'll come back to me as we chat. But
so Dave, you got your friend off of the fluoride, and he woke up.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's like, wait a minute, and he could see. Think about it. Your brain is doing a lot of things, but one thing that it's doing is it's connecting to outside information. Let's call it spiritual information, and don't say I'm new agey, but there's a fact that there's a field of consciousness outside of our body, and our pineal gland is the connection, is the Wi-Fi antenna of our brain, and fluoride and all these other things calcify it, and distilled water actually pulls that stuff out of your body. Like if you have a grass stain and a dirt stain on your pants and you wash them in distilled water, the dirt stain will come out, but the grass stain won't, because the distilled water will pull the inorganic minerals and chemicals out of your pants, but not the organic ones. So the doctor says, don't drink distilled water. It'll leach the minerals out of your body. Well, it only leaches the ones that your body can't use, the ones that are giving you kidney stones and gallstones and plaque in your arteries and calcifying your pineal gland. But the distilled water will pull that out. So there we go again. I can talk about distilled good at pulling inorganic minerals out of your body, then it pulls them out of the plastic. And then you're drinking plastic. And all the chemicals associated with that. So you have to make your own and keep it in glass.
Yeah.
You guys know all this, don't you?
The whole life is wrapped in plastic, isn't it?
Yeah. So, and a good distiller is, 200 and change, and it works forever. It works great, and it's good. I've actually bought distillers for some people that I needed to wake up, and it works. Or some people that I needed to be able to think clearer for me when we're doing projects. And I convince people to get on distilled water, and I'm telling you, they make a better business partner.
Well, I just remember Robert Ford talking about it one day, and he was saying basically that he that was microwaved. Sorry, that was microwave. But he used microwave water. It killed his plant, and he only drinks.
I did an experiment. I think it was back in high school with microwave water. Cooled off. Water boiled on a wood fire, cooled off, and water boiled on an electric stove and cooled off. Electric, microwave, and then we use that water to grow seedlings in identical conditions. And all of the ones that were watered with the microwave water only grew a couple inches. The electric boiled ones and the wood ones were close, but the wood boiled water was definitely higher, but they were pretty close. But they grew 10 times the size. So the water is dead when you microwave it.
Reclaim the plane in the chat rooms, but here's a good quote, DITRH. They're brainwashing the crap out of you.
Yeah, it's amazing. I had the experience. I told it on Raw last night. What day is today? Whatever night I did Raw with Jaron on TFR. I pulled into a flat Earth conversation with two people that had no idea flat Earth was happening, and the guy said, he goes, my daughter mentioned it, and then he goes, but then I told her, I have told this story before. Then he goes, then I told her, but if you use logic, you can look at a boat going over the horizon. He does the whole Bill Nye thing, and I looked at him and I said, what if I showed you that you are under mind control by showing you that is absolutely wrong and actually proves flat Earth? And he's like, all right, what do you got? And I explained the whole P900, zooming in after it's over the horizon, how far we're seeing, infrared, the whole thing. And I go, and then you can see the whole ship again after it's well below the horizon, in your opinion, and according to spherical geometry. I go, but you can pull it back. And he goes, you can see the whole thing in its glory? I'm like, top to bottom. And he's like, he just short-circuited, and he changed the subject. But I think I got him. I think he was smart enough, that got him. So now he's on to another proof. But what I find is, you got to warn people. Say, listen, that proof that is the reason you think you live on a ball, I'm going to disprove it, and I want you to think about it before you ask me another question. You got to set them up like that, and it really helps them wake up, because if you just slap it down, they throw another one out, and you slap it down. You got to make a deal with them that they're willing to think about it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I've got the patience to do that, though.
It's tough. It's tough, but it's rewarding and it's fun.
Because I just think I'd be going, it's flat, that's it. I'd run out of things to say, I think. Because I don't like the walls. If I face a wall, I'm not so good at myself.
The litmus test, though, is if they believe we went to the moon, it's going to be tough. And that's
but a lot of people don't believe that. But when you actually mention flat Earth, then they think you're crazy.
Yeah, not as much as before. But this guy, we backtracked. He goes, well, what about when they landed on the moon? I'm like, you haven't looked into that, have you? And he goes, you don't think we landed on the moon? And I was like, I know we didn't. But and then that's where it all goes south at that point. But I'm telling you, whether you have a short conversation and they laugh at you, whether you're wearing a flat Earth shirt, they glance at it and don't even say anything to you, you are planting seeds. You are making flat Earth have more energy with everything, every move. Like 1,000 ballers will walk by me, see my shirt, and they won't say a word, but it's planted, because this world is run by, signs and symbols, and they're seeing signs and symbols on our shirts. And it's registering in their subconscious.
Well, I put another one out about NASA this week, because I just couldn't believe it. Doing the ham radio, and I looked up, and they, a while ago they'd have said there was so many seconds delay. Now they're saying there's 1 to 2 seconds, but you can clearly see on this thing there's no delay at all. The only delay is how long it actually takes for the person to reply. Not actually there's a time difference. And someone said they're going to close it down soon, because they just can't continue the lies like this, can they? They can't keep covering it up.
There was 30,000 satellites a couple of years ago, and now there's 2,500. They're changing the story, and I'm wondering, with this SpaceX launch disaster, the bailout, now that people are stranded on the ISS, perfect time for a disaster to happen. You know, we had a hole a couple weeks ago, a catastrophic accident on the ISS, no way to get to them, no way to prove it was fake.
As always.
What's that?
As always.
Yeah, as always. Yeah, there you go.
The people can verify it or anything. Hey, I think Bob's in the chat room from Globebusters. So good evening to you. Who else is it? And Jeep Girls there. Good time. Let's see, Oddity. Blue Tom. Stay nice, Blue Tom. Conan. Brandon.
Hey, Dave, are you doing any presentations at the conference or anything like that?
Matt Long and I are going to be doing, I believe we're doing one each day, a side seminar about how to talk to friends and family and stuff like that. It'll kind of be an open thing. We'll make our presentation, and then people will participate and ask questions and make suggestions. It'll kind of be like a collaboration, a brainstorming session also.
It all sounds really,
hopefully,
great. Oh, you carry on.
Hopefully you'll have your new tool with you.
Oh, I will. I can't wait. It's so exciting.
I know.
It's so excited, and I've been thinking about it for a couple of years, and I have to tell you that one flat earther that I got into a little bit of a beef with recently inspired me to do it. So that beef is a good thing. Most of my, not my videos, my favorite videos that I made, the ones that I enjoy the most, the ones that I think are the best, I don't know what you guys think, are mostly inspired by trolls and ballers that fight on these things, and they inspire me to make these videos. And so it's all good. If someone gives you a hard time, thank God. Take that hard time, take that energy, and there we go. I'm trying to get into a garage here, and use it to do something good.
Yeah, like that video you made when those Russians were looking at black screens.
Yep, that was a fun one.
All black screens. They forgot about that bit, didn't they? That's how bad we are at actually looking at what we're looking at. Because someone else, you, notice this, but loads of thousands of other people don't notice. They're looking at black screens.
Yep. Hey, I'm at my location.
Oh,
so
you're
I gotta row. I gotta go.
Hey,
thanks for popping
Dave.
by.
All right,
and
yeah.
Yeah, it was good, man.
Big hug. Thanks again.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Guys.
Cheers.
Yep,
Have a nice evening.
You too. Bye.
Bye, darling.
Fun, huh?
Oh, it was nice to meet
That was nice.
you. Yeah. We've been going for 2.25 hours now. Do you think it's time that we should say goodnight, guys? Or do you want to carry on talking for a bit more?
I'm knackered.
Yeah, it's 12:15 for you, isn't it, Astral?
Yeah, it's that was good.
Yeah, especially as now there's something coming and we've just got to wait a couple of weeks for that one.
Yeah, that'd be exciting. We'll have to have him back on and show us what's up. I'm sure he'll put out a video. And it'll be
mending there.
Yeah,
You're mending, aren't you?
Who's that?
You're mending, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm working. Sorry.
That's okay, my darling. Anyway, so thanks to everybody in the chat room, and it was really nice with Paul on the plane, and he stayed in the chat room most of the rest of this time. And thank you to DITRH, thank you to Flat Earth Dude, Astral, Patricia, and as I said, everybody in the chat room, we're back on Thursday with Santos and Matthew Mackenzie. He came in the chat room today. We're probably going for about 11. It might end up being 11:30, but if you understand, it's that time for us, but it's about 8 o'clock in the morning for Santos the next day. So we're looking forward to that. Oh, I just better say hello, Spherical. I didn't say hello to them earlier on. I meant to, but it's been a great hangout. And yeah, thank you, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good
night.
Oh, before we go, what's
Two.
the water? There's no what?
There's no bendy water.
There is no bendy water.
You need to look up Lorraine Chase and expressions or whatever, right? And then you'll understand about this water Majorca or whatever, right? But good night.
Yeah, she was an actress. Yeah, she made an advert for Campari, I think it was, wasn't it? But anyway, yes. Mwah to everybody, and be back on Thursday, even if it's a bit late. But see everybody. Thank you, Flat Earth Dude, Patricia, Astral, and everyone.
Hey, thanks everybody. That was fun. Made my day. Thanks.
Aw. Thanks, everybody.